going to show you how to change the rear glass on an iPhone X. Extremely easy. These are the easiest ones that Apple's ever come out with to get the rear glass off from. You just take your my little workstation here that I have, heat it up. I do about 349 degrees, something like that. I just keep going around it. And then after it gets to the temperature you want, then you just take your utility knife and just kind of get underneath the edge and just kind of keep working it until you get it off. And when you get a replacement, make sure you always get the wide camera lens already whenever you get the replacement back, because if you don't, you can't hardly get this off. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if it's warm enough to start getting it taken off here. You just always start at the corner. Just kind of work it a little bit here. As you can see, the pieces, they come off relatively easy. The more it's cracked, the worse it is to get it off. So it's easier with bigger pieces, obviously. And then once the phone starts cooling down a little bit, you'll have to, start heating it back up again to get it to where it'll come loose again. As you can see there, that big piece come off. And most of the time the glue comes off, once you get it hot enough, it breaks the glue down and it comes right off. You just got to be careful in the middle of the phone, right around in here, that way, because that's where your wireless charging pad is for your phone. You don't want to damage that. And like I said, you just keep working your way up to the top. And make sure you don't heat too much around the wireless charging pad there, because it might damage it. And also, you'll see here in a minute, whenever I'm pulling the glass off, there'll be like the thin piece of plastic that comes off with it as well. That will not hurt your charging pad. That is actually just part of the rear glass. You'll see it here in a minute whenever I get it off there. Right here is that piece of plastic I was telling you about. See that right there on the back of that glass? That just comes right off with it, no problem. Up a little more so I can get my utility blade under it. And the camera lens is also busted in this phone, which I will replace too. I don't have one in stock, so I had to order it. Make sure you're careful when heating up around that camera, because it could damage it as well. See, big piece right there come off. So it just, sometimes big pieces come off, sometimes little pieces come off. I mean, it is what it is. All has to come off. I just use a utility blade knife, or the blade itself. I mean, you can use whatever you want. This, I mean, they're pretty durable. They get under the glass pretty easily. Just be careful. Don't slip, of course, And doing it like this, you don't even have to take your iPhone apart at all to do it. Just turn it off, And I mean, it could, like, if you went to turn it back on too quick, obviously it could say that it's overheated or whatever, but it will not hurt it. I mean, as long as you just don't get it way too hot, of course. That's why I'll put heat on it, and then I'll take it off and heat and off and all that sort of stuff. That way it gives it a little time to cool down, just a little bit. So again, try not to get it very hot around that charge pad, because it's directly behind that charge pad is where your battery's at, and obviously you don't want to get your battery too hot because it could explode. And once you get all the, all the glass off the back, make sure that before you install the new screen, you want to go around it. Don't scrape too much, but kind of go around the corners here, just to make sure that like all the old glue's off, any piece of glass that may have got left behind, because if there's any glass left behind and you put that new back on there and press on it, man, it's just gonna bust that new back all to pieces. So. And also on this phone here, it doesn't matter, but on this phone here, it doesn't matter because the screen, the front's already busted. You can see it's been hot right now, but that's okay. It'll cool down in a minute. Just make sure you lay it down on a piece of like a cloth of some sort so it doesn't scratch your screen up. But like I said, on this particular one, it doesn't matter. I'm going to change the screen anyhow. And when you're getting ready to put the new back on, do not buy the back that already has the adhesive on it. Those suck. They will not stick good. What you need to do is buy the one that doesn't come with the adhesive already on the back, and use your own adhesive. You can use pretty much anything. I mean, I've used super glue. I've used just make sure that it's like when you get it that it's rated for glass and metal. It'll say right there on the package. as you can see, I mean, this repair, it doesn't take very long at all to get this glass off, you know. And like I said, this, I mean, you can get other ones off, but I'll tell you what, it's tough. iPhone X, it's just where they used whatever kind of glue they used. It's just a whole lot easier to break down than the glue, say, on an iPhone XR or even like an 8 Plus, something like that. It's like they used something, man, and that stuff sets up like concrete. I mean, just like you're taking a hammer and chisel trying to get that stuff off. So I'm going to break this right now so I can get it around that camera lens. And I always keep a couple extra blades here. That way the ones that are still hot, you know, from doing the work, you can just keep changing them out. And that's just, you see that piece right there? That's the rubber gasket from the factory that makes it, you know, what they call water resistant. It really doesn't work, but, you know. But that's what they use that for. And it won't matter on your new one. I mean, it seals around it pretty tight, but obviously it's not going to be as good as a factory. But here we are again. It is what it is. Just a little bit of heat down here. Like I said, you gotta be careful around that camera. It'll mess it up. And then there you are, man. These cameras are anywhere from, I think, 40 to 75 bucks, something like that. So you don't want to do that. So you can see just a little heat, and that thing came right off there. And just, you know, clean out around your camera, your lens there. That way, you know, there's no glass up under it, nothing like that. And there it is. I mean, got it off there. Like I said, you just want to go around and make sure everything's kind of clean. That way it sits down just as good as it possibly can. But before I go here, like I said, I'm just going to go around and I'll make sure that it's all clean. And then I will load another video here in a minute of installing the back. But like I said, it'll still have the cracked camera lens. I've got it on order. It just, you know, be a few days before it comes here.